Y'all haven't downloaded the app yet?
Y'all go download the Passport Bros app, man. Shout out to BMT. Shout out to the Passport Bros, man. This is something special. Everybody should get on it. We got our own social network now.
All right, man, look, I don't know, y'all missing out, man. Look, if you want any information, if you want to be a part of a community, be a part of like a brotherhood, man, and people watch out for you, whereas entrepreneurs, YouTubers, or anything you really want to get into, man, y'all need to download that app, man, Passport Bros.
Only Passport Bro app, download it, BMT, dropping a platform for everybody to be social on. So get that, copy that.
All right, man, it's your boy Average Man Unplugged. Make sure you hit the Passport Bro app. We got all our content on there. We got our own network now, you guys, all right? So go check that out, man. Passport Bro app. Make sure you download it.
BMT, no matter where I go, no matter where I be.
Some of them seats in, some of them front kicks in, and I'm still cooling, you know what I'm saying? I'm still cool, I ain't busting sweat. You know, that's what it is. Yoga, Passport Bros.
Passport Bros up.
University in the building. Shout out to my boy BMT, man. Yeah, go cop some new merch.
All right, and we are live. Welcome, family, to another show. This is your man BMT. This is the Sunday Rundown. If you're not familiar with this show, fellas, every Sunday I do like a rundown of everything that happened the previous week in concerns of travel, popular media news, and the Passport Bros. All right. So welcome to the show, family. I just left a show with Austin Holloman over there. I want to give a shout out to Austin Holloman and El Guapo as well. That's why this show starting a little late. I want to let them, rock out for a little bit before I start the show. The topic of the show was should Passport Bros Council Columbia. Now, I did a live on this last week, and I also did a video. If you guys haven't watched the video, I interviewed a very popular DJ in Medellin, Colombia, right, who has had any incidents for the 5 years that he's been here. So, guys, make sure you check out that video. It's like the last couple of videos that I posted. It also covers how to find an apartment out here in Medellin, Colombia as well. So make sure to check out those videos that I posted. All right. I might show a little clip here before we go. This is going to be an open panel show. So, guys, you can pull up later on once I give my dialogue. We got a lot to talk about. Also, I want to give a shout out to my man, Citizen Luke, because he had this topic earlier today. I wasn't able to tap into it. But as you can see, the topic of this live stream has the Passport Bros brand, Passport Bros brand become somewhat of a joke. All right. And we're going to discuss that as well. Let's see who's all in the building. We got shout out to my man Yoga Yoga in the building. Shout out to you, Yoga Yoga. Always in the building, pulling up. We got John Horst. We need to start vetting people that come to the movement. It's difficult, man. It is difficult when you have something of this gargantuan size. All right. You can vet people all you want, but you're going to attract all types of characters. All right. This is why we created the Passport Bros app. So we can kind of filter through and kind of do what we do without any outside interference from some of the major platforms. All right. So let's give a shout out to everybody who's all in the room. Also, family, let me shout out. I got to give a shout out to the group. Give me a second here. Hold on. Where we at? If you haven't already joined, close that out real quick. Hold on. This is the wrong one. Hold on. Let me, yeah. If I haven't already joined, make sure to join the private Facebook group, all right? Where there's a lot of information being dropped on there. And a daily, we get about 400 posts a day. This is the original Facebook group, all right? Here we go. This is the original Facebook group that we have here, family. This is where it all starts, where it all began. I all started off as a Facebook group, this popular ideology. I'm going to also discuss an article that was written by Fox News tonight on the Passport Bros. Yes, we stay in everybody's mouth, man, for whatever reason. You know, this is beyond viral. All right, Passport Bros has been a hot topic for at least the last year and some change. And it will continue to be a hot topic, it looks like. All right, but we're going to break down this whole Fox News article. And I will say it was good journalism. I want to give a shout out. I'm not a big Fox guy, you know what I'm saying? I don't do politics on this channel, but I will say it's one of the more balanced articles that I have seen in concerns of a Passport Bros. All right. I want to give a shout out. All right, says, what is your boy Real Talk New York Instagram? Shout out to Eli Ford with $1.99 super chat, the first super chat of the day. I will find it for you, bro. I'm gonna find it for you. You might look at the previous episode or the episode before that when I had Kev on. They're discussing the show I did with my dude Killer Kev, Kevin Walker Tarver, Real Talk New York, against my man O'Sheen of the Crypto Gang. We had a big show yesterday, actually. All right, should Passport Bros invest in crypto? It was a real good debate, man. Real good debate, bro. I got Megatron here. He says, BMT Drives, what up? BMT just got my passport with a car on the way. I'm glad to be a part of this movement, man. Welcome. You know, it's funny because we get at least, I think we get about 100, 150 new guys in the group, you know, maybe a week, every couple of days, maybe, and we decline a lot. Now, there are fake Facebook groups. They're going to be removed at some point, but it takes a while for these big social media conglomerates to actually take action on trademark infringement. But this is the original group that you're seeing. This is the logo, all right, for you guys that really want to join the private Facebook group. And for you guys that want to stay off of major social media, like I said before, we do have the Passport Bros app, man. And you should see the quality information, the quality posts, and the resources that we have on that app. Because when you put that paywall up, right, you get guys that are actually traveling. You won't get all the memes that are thrown in the private Facebook group, all right? What up, Eric Archer? What's good? Now, family, we got 71 in the room. Do me a favor, hit that like button for your boy when you come in the room. Get us on in the algorithm. Now, I'm going to play this little clip. Before I get to the article, I'm going to play this clip. All right. This was on World Star today. Let me pull this up for the fam real quick. Hold on real quick. He said, the Passport Bro app is amazing. Love it and high quality. Yeah, man, we had to get our own platform with something this big. We had to have our own platform because remember, the original Facebook group, Black Man Travels, was actually taken down for no reason. And when that happened, shout out to my partner Cardell. He was like, bro, we got to do something. We can't just be on the edge hoping that, you know, not hoping, but, you know, somebody make a bad post or a post they deem negative. Instead of us getting a warning, since it's blackmail oriented, they take the whole group down, you know, without any exceptions. They never even got back with us for the full reason why. They said the group had nudity. It was literally a screenshot of a Robinhood account of a guy making a successful trade. And they said it was nudity and they took the group down. So when you have stuff like that happening, that's when you got to go and move on to your own platform, because we had about 9,000 members in their original Black Man Travels group, all right, before they took it down. All right. So let me play this little clip right here, man. This is so funny right here. Let me play this clip real quick. Hold on. Let me pull it up. So this is on World Star this morning. POV, point of view, me in Colombia, pretending to be Brazilian, hanging out with the Passport Bros to get free drinks. Now, come on. If that's not desperation, I don't know what it is, bro. I don't know. Now I don't know if dudes are really falling for the fake accent because what she's speaking doesn't sound any type of. It sounds like a fake accent to me. But let me play the video real quick for the fam. Hold on, this is hilarious.
Okay, because everyone, you know, they mad at me because I pretend to be Brazilian.
That's not how Brazilian girls talk at all. That is the worst accent ever. I don't know what you're trying to sound like, but that's not a Brazilian woman. First of all, most Brazilian women don't speak English, and the ones that do speak English, they don't sound like that. They do not sound like that. Hold on, let me pull it up. Hold on.
And I give free things in South America, but I'm American. The only reason why they mad at me is because I finesse like they finesse. They want to come take advantage of the ladies in South America. Oh, okay, well, I do the same to you because I know the game. I know the free game. Don't be mad at me, be mad at the game. Mwah. I didn't do anything wrong. I have few free drinks. I give few drinks. Okay, few drinks. You come, you have sex with the ladies. You get these ladies pregnant. They get abortions. You leave for America. You go back home, right? You leave them here with baby. You leave them here with $50. $50? What is $50 for sex? You want to be the scammers. You guys want to be the scammers, but when I become the scammer now, everybody's mad.
This woman is batshit crazy. She's crazy, fam. You see this? You really hear what she's saying right now. She's out overseas, lonely as hell, trying to finesse American passport bros out of a few drinks. All right. Now, any true passport bro will recognize that she's an American woman within 10 seconds. But this is hilarious right here, man. She would have been better off just keeping it $150, but like, yo, I'm America, I like to travel. Because you do have a high chance of dating American women overseas tenfold because the game has been 100% flipped on, right? So when they come to these countries like Colombia, I literally seen last weekend, I'm getting in trouble for saying this, but I literally seen an American, woman going from guy to guy trying to get attention amongst a bar or a party full of Afro Latinas. And dudes were just kind of like, hey, what up, sis? It's all good. Nice to meet you. Excuse me, this is Afro Latina real quick, and that's what it is in South America for the most part. This is not for the faint of heart. You cannot compete whatsoever. I'm just keeping it real. You better off going to Europe or something, maybe the bros, or maybe some countries in Africa. But this right here, so she's upset because she's not getting attention. So she's trying to flip the script and say, I'm gonna say a fake little accent so I can finesse and I can get some attention. But I'm gonna do a whole reaction video on this week though.
Everybody's mad. Everybody's mad. I didn't. If you know, you know. The level of ghetto fabulous in Atlanta, you would think that people were being paid to act this fucking ghetto.
Okay, that's something else. Yeah, that's something else. But yeah, she was out there trying to finesse dudes. And if you got finesse, you deserve to get finesse. If you think that's a Brazilian accent, you deserve to get finesse. All right. She happy to get them little $4-5 drinks up out you though. Heck with the passport, bro.
Okay, because everyone, they mad at me because I pretend to be Brazilian and I give free things in South America, but I'm
free things. What type of free things you getting in South America? Who's buying you stuff in South America with your fake ass accent?
American. The only reason why they mad at me is because I finesse like they finesse. They want to come take advantage of the ladies in South America. Oh, okay, well, I do the same to you because I know the game. I know the
What accent is that? What type of accent? She didn't even do her research.
free game. Don't be mad at me, be mad at the game. Mwah. I didn't do anything wrong. I have few free drinks. I give few drinks. Okay, few drinks. You come, you have sex with the ladies. You get these ladies pregnant. They get abortions. You leave for America. You go back home, right? You leave them here with baby. You leave them here with $50. $50? What is $50 for sex? You want to be the scammers. You guys want to be the scammers, but when I become the scammer now, everybody's mad. Everybody's mad. Everybody's mad. I didn't.
Hold on.
If you know, you know.
Somebody said it sounds like a Nigerian with Down syndrome, LOL. Exactly, right? If you fail for that, you deserve to get finesse, bro. If you sitting in Cartagena somewhere and a woman walks up to you, bumming off drinks, and with that accent, you deserve to get finesse. Somebody said, so she doing this and then living her best life. Hey man, it's hilarious. All right, guys, do me a favor, hit that like button for your boy, man. We're gonna be rocking for a little minute tonight. All right. Hold up. Now, yes, the Passport Bros. All right, the Passport Bros. We're about to go viral again. All right, let me pull up this article real quick by Fox News. Hold on, where we at? Let me pull this article up real quick. There we go. Now, this is a very interesting article. I will share this. I want to give a shout out to my man, Jay Clyde, in the building. Shout out to you, Jay Clyde. He sent me the article. Where are you at? Oh, yeah. There we go. All right. Now, this article was actually on Fox News. We're going to kind of skim through. It was a pretty long article, so we're going to kind of skim through it a little bit here, family. All right, before we get to the subject at hand. Now, what is the Passport Bro? Growing number of men are ditching American women to find love overseas. Now, this article covered a lot. It was written by Nicholas Lanham. All right, it's not an American name, but it was written by Nicholas Lanham, and he did a fair assessment. Like I said, I'm not a Fox News type of guy or anything like that. I really don't care, but I will say from the article, it was more of a logical article and not like a hate piece that most time Passport Bros are getting from these. And there's been a few articles out there that kind of is in support. Now, this article, why I say this article was logical, because it was just pretty much stating the facts. All right. So the article is called "What is a Passport Bro? Growing number of men are ditching American women to find love overseas." Now we know off the rip that being a Passport Bro encompasses much more than that. Excuse me. Passport Bros, all right, it's relationships is a portion of it, maybe 50-60%, but there's other reasons that people are leaving the States, all right? You can be a Passport Bro and be in a relationship. I've said that countless times, all right? I got Passport Bros that are married. You know, one of the guys I really rock real hard, he's married, right, to an American woman, but he still considers himself to be a Passport Bro because he's well-traveled, all right? He looks for more economic opportunities and leverages his American dollar with an easier lifestyle, all right? So he can have a traditional family and traditional relationship where he's the breadwinner, right? So that's one of the big factors that is always overlooked is the social or economic pressures of living in the States, right? But this article actually covered a lot of good stuff, man. Now this video right here, I'm not gonna play the video because of copyright reasons. But this guy surmised the fact that America, the population, this is a big, big problem, right? Relationships experts say that some men feel excessive feminism and a lack of loyalty are hindering their chances of finding a partner, all right? So what he mentioned was the free access to all the porn, the OnlyFans bros, basically, all right? And unrealistic dating expectations of dating apps in the West. You know, he was saying that men are pretty much opted out and frustrated. All right, so we got all the mass shootings. All right, dating is down, marriage is down, population growth is down. This is a big, big issue. A lot of people don't realize that the key to a society is the family, right? The key components of a successful society is the family. Right? If the family doesn't work out, right? If you just got a whole bunch of people single in their 30s and 40s, your society is pretty much doomed. And that's what's happening in the West. You got social pressures, all right, to be successful. So you got a lot of career-driven people, right? And the problem is, guys are, getting their passports. Guys are dating and they're being frustrated and they're saying to themselves, you know what, man, I can take this overseas. Or I can retire early, or I can figure it out because the cost of living overseas is already much cheaper than the cost of living in America. On top of that, I have a better chance of finding a traditional woman all right, to start a family with. And this is one of the things that I liked about this article, because the thing about men is you can call us what you want, right? But men take their families, right, and their children very seriously. And guys don't want broken homes. They don't want to raise their children in broken homes, right? They're tired of their daughters being on OnlyFans and stuff. You're seeing the issues at hand. You're seeing this uncontrollable society now where everybody's kind of doing them, women kind of doing them. And you see that's not really working in the long form, long game. Men want to sit there and actually raise their children to be productive people in society. And they know they got a better chance of that overseas than they do in the States. And that's what's really happening. Right? You got your guys, you got your plantation bros, you got your OnlyFans bros, they're gonna rock out, they're gonna stay there. But you have almost 12% of guys right now are seeking remote jobs, getting remote jobs just so they can move and live overseas. And this article covered that. Somebody said racism and break from America. Keith Davis says the Passportbro movement, I say it's an ideology, not necessarily a movement, says should have been private with it. You can't keep something this big. And we're just going to discuss this after we go to this article. You can't keep something this big, bro. All right. When this started, it was just a few. It went viral on TikTok, you know, and it just blew up. All right. Somebody said women want their freedom in years. They don't want to be wives. Shout out to my dude, J Rags. Shout out to you, J Rags. Says, man, US bros are just enjoying a better life and traveling. I'm about to DJ in an event in Medellin in 2 hours. Bros love living life out there. Shout out to you, my man, J Rags. Also another popular DJ out here in Medellin, Colombia. Somebody said, yeah, it's the ideology, man. It is the ideology. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. We don't really necessarily want to coin it as a movement. All right, but it's just a mindset. It's ideology and a mindset is unstoppable. It's unstoppable, basically. You know, when you talk about movements and you want to get key figures and you want to get this, no, man, we don't need all that. Eat, you know, keep it out. It's a mindset. It's a mindset, basically. This is too big to have charters and members and some janky dude do some fuck shit and that's all the passport broke. No, man, we don't need all that. We set it up like this for a reason. Let me continue with the article, family. Let me continue with the article. All right, so I'm just going to skim through it a little bit and some of the major points here. All right, hold on. We pretty much got all that. I said this article covers a lot. This portion covers about the dating apps. All right, so it says many passport bros express a sense of disconnection dating culture in their home country, which they perceive as being influenced by elements they find unappealing, such as excessive feminism, materialism, and perceived lack of commitment and loyalty in relationships. Unchecked hypergamy, basically, is what he said. These experts found that some men have shifted their romantic aspirations toward various international regions, particularly Southeast Asia, Eastern Europe, and Latin America, hoping to find someone with more conservative or traditional values. Sound familiar, right? You know, when I said the word traditional, and I said the word plantation bro, and I said the word passport pookie, I had no idea like it would just take off like this. You know, this is like one of them grassroots type of channels where we just kind of chop it up. And, you know, in these discussions and these conversations, and it just kind of just spreads from the Facebook group, the YouTube channel. You know, we got our own little system of just having casual conversations that seem to just spread throughout all Western media. All right. All right. So let's go. So now you're talking about traditional relationships. And the expert says this sort of arrangement can be beneficial to both parties as long as both know what they're getting into. Open and honest communication is very important about the needs and wants in a relationship. All right. More standard motivations of dating overseas shared by both men and women have led more young male remote workers to consider romantic relationships outside of their area code. Now they talk about the pandemic and how the pandemic, you know, kind of pushed up the passport bros, which is true because you had a lot more guys doing online work. Let's see. Daters were also engaged in 10% more interracial relationships, and there was 15% increase in those who said they would date different religions and cultures. In 2020, Tinder recorded a 7-time increase in members' use of the passport feature, with 60% of all active members engaged with people overseas. They're talking about Tinder International. They can pay a little extra, and you can get Tinder International, and you can kind of skip trades to other countries all over the world. And you kind of do your little pregame, and that works. I mean, that works. Be careful in a country like Colombia with that, but especially in Southeast Asia, you're gonna get all types of likes. All right. Talk a little bit about the language barrier. I did a whole video about the language barrier earlier this week. All right. Now, this is very interesting. This is the portion of the article that I really want to get to. What up, Kirby Films? No, I'm gonna drop a link. I'm gonna rock for a few more minutes, but I'm gonna drop a link as we break down this article. Now, this was interesting. This was very interesting. It says, as women in the U.S. become more outspoken and emboldened to ask for what they want, some men feel that they prefer women in other countries who would be more unconditionally devoted to them. All right. Lastly, the movement actually began with Black men. Did you hear that? Fox News. Think about Fox News. I remember when they had Glenn Beck. I think it was Glenn Beck. They had Glenn Beck, and they started breaking down Black history at the initial, let's just say, incorporation of the United States. The United States is a corporation, and how Black men played an integral role in the formation of this country, right? And it was on Fox News. I was surprised, basically. They broke down. This is like during the George Washington era and everything like that. And I've never seen that on any other news platforms, which is interesting. But anyways, back to the article. All right, so. Lastly, the movement actually began with Black men, so it could have to do with the way that Black men are treated in the U.S. This is a white writer saying this. Though it also seems that some of it is based on negative perceptions of U.S. Black women. All right. So, and then they touched over the negative stuff, So they got clinical science. This is how crazy this passport ideology has become, where they're doing studies, right? Because they see the demographics. I don't have to pull it up here, but I share the demographic of the U.S. population, right? And a downhill trickle. Yeah, I skipped over that part for a reason, brother. Think someone has to go on. There's a whole lot of challenges. Dating someone who has different cultures from yours comes with a whole lot of challenges, which is true. I've said that countless times before. It's very true. But it's easy. You know what? I'm going to say this. It's going to be moments in your relationship where something comes on TV, some like an old song or an old movie that, they don't know anything about, but it was like a big cultural thing. You might get that 112 and Biggie from 1996 or something playing and you rock it, but they really familiar with our music. So just little intimate moments that you possibly would have with someone from your culture. Like, oh, I remember when this song dropped and I had the drop top, Ford Mustang, and she's gonna be looking at you like, yeah, like what? Come on. So it's little moments like that. You be like, yeah, I forgot you. Saying that you don't know nothing about that. Freak deep days and everything. But it doesn't matter, bro. You can get over that little thing like it's nothing. Oh, you can either educate her on it or put her on it. It actually makes the relationship more dynamic. When you try, because when you really like each other and you really go on with each other, y'all have y'all roles, in the relationship, those are things that be interesting. You learn about her culture. I learned so much about Southeast Asian culture and Thai culture and Cambodian culture. It was so interesting to me, right? It just opened my mind to a lot of things that they went through in their history. And I'm thinking like, damn, I didn't think it could be no worse than the history that we have as Black Americans, what we went through in the United States. Then when you start traveling the world, you start seeing like, damn, they had a bad motherfucker in Cambodia. They had a big genocide. They colonized this area. They did this. They did, you start really finding out. And then you start seeing like, okay, the statues in the museum, the pictures in the museum look like us. You should start opening your mind to different cultures, and it's very revealing, and you become well-rounded as an individual and all. All right. So dating someone who has a different culture from yours comes with a whole lot of challenges, such as adjusting to the traditions and learning the ways and how they navigate relationships. And this can be a bit much for people who are not psychologically and emotionally ready. All right. So for men who fail to understand and adapt, these passport bros, hold on, let me put my, these passport bros, Whiteside predicted, might be quickly dissatisfied once again and find themselves in another country back at square one. So it's an adjustment period. You got a lot of passport bros. See, the thing about us is you got a sector, you got different arms, right? You got different little arms. Passport bros encompasses a lot. It's a big umbrella. And you got the guys that can subscribe to the passport bro ideology who's either trying to get to a level where they can live overseas full time, or you got the guys who has a business or something that's anchoring them to the States and they just go out the country multiple times a year, right? And I wouldn't consider them to be necessarily weekend warriors, but those guys might be traveling for different reasons or whatnot. You got different sectors, but when you live in these countries, I think naturally you're going to adapt. Naturally you're going to adapt. So now this is like a little negative portion. So the data critics have argued this trend may perpetuate unequal power dynamics and objectify women from other countries, which really doesn't make any sense when you think about it. I think we forget as Americans that just 2 generations ago, women didn't have necessarily careers like that, and these people stayed married for 50, 60 years. The divorce rate was extremely low. All right. So if you have a traditional role, you have a traditional woman who says, hey, I want to support the home. I want to play my role. Then you say, okay, I'm going to play my role. I'm going to be the majority bread maker in the relationship. We all know that those relationships can really work because they worked in the past, right? I don't think my great grandma had a job or anything like that. That she was married for 50, 60 years, though. So that's the article, family. I just kind of skim over. It's a very long article. It was kind of balanced. I always want to say something negative to kind of balance it out to a certain degree. But I think this thing is getting so big, and he put all the facts, all right? He put all the facts in here, right? Conservative or traditional values, Southeast Asia, Eastern Europe, and Latin America. I mean, this is on the top publication, guys. I mean, pat yourselves on the back. Pat yourselves on the back, all right? So study finds more than 60% of young men are single, who are all the young women dating, all right? Now, we did the whole stat. I think Andre might did a show on it. The stats of, the 8, 10%, 11% of guys are actually hooking up on Tinder. All right. I don't know what's worse, the F-bomb or dating apps and social media in general. I mean, it's like a collective, it's like a trifecta. Between the dating apps, right? We know the F word, and just social media in general, and the rise of acceptable, when I say acceptable, I don't know if I can say that word. Online OnlyFans, the rise of the popularity of OnlyFans, basically. Like that's actually what these women are wanting to do when they kind of graduate. Shit, like, you know what, damn my degree, I'm gonna get on OnlyFans and stuff. The rise of that, man, it's just been a dampering effect. And we gotta take the blame on that as well as Western men to be the customers of that, to make women millionaires overnight. Thick stuff up their ass. Yeah, she's saying the Khmer Rouge. I found out about that in Cambodia when I was in Cambodia. We got 104 in the room, man. Do me a favor and hit that like button for your boy. All right. So guys, we've been at for about 30 something minutes. This is an open panel show. If you can, do me a favor and cam up. All right. Hold on. Let me drop a link. Let me drop a link And if you guys want to pull up, you are welcome to pull up. All right. So drop the link there, and I'm going to be right back. Let me play this real quick. I'm going to be right back on the other top end. Wait some guys come on in the room.
See, I'm repping that BMT. No matter where I go, no matter where I be.
Some of them seats in, some of them front kicks in. And I'm still cooling, you know what I'm saying? I'm still cool, I ain't busting sweat. You know, that's what it is. Yoga. Passport bro.
Passport Bros up.
University in the building. Shout out to my boy BMT, man. Yeah, go cop some new merch.
All right, family, we back. All right. Open panel. Open panel, guys, do me a favor if you can cam up. Do me a favor and cam up. I like for guys to kind of show their faces if possible. Do me a favor. The topic of the panels has the Passport brand become a joke. All right. Now, what I mean by that, I want to give a shout out to Sis Luke once again because he had an excellent show this morning about that. Now, my personal opinion, you know, this is somewhat of a new phenomenon to a certain degree to have an actual term, a hashtag that's become so popular in the media cycle. And like I said before, it seems like it's gonna be around for quite some time. Now the brand will still be there. The brand will still be here after all the controversy and everything settled down. I don't think Passport Bros is going anywhere, just like crypto not going anywhere. I do believe it is here to stay. All right. Let me go ahead and pull up the first guest of tonight. You take yourself off echo, my brother. Take yourself off echo. All right. All right, you there?
Hey, BMT, it's something wrong with Google and all Androids. It's doing an echo with all Androids if you got an Android phone. That's what's going on. It just flashed the sign up on the phone again. It's StreamYard and all that.
Okay. Now let me welcome to the show RKE, my crypto guy. What's good, brother? What's good?
How's it going? How's it going, brother?
Going good, man. It's going good. I think I got somebody else. Okay, Yoga just dropped off, man. So what are your thoughts on everything, man, about the topic, man? What do you think about the Passport, bro?
I mean,
terminology, the brand, the hashtag, what's going on with us, the popularity.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the brand is a joke. Something like this, it's going to have its ups and downs in regards to public images as anything else, but it's not going to go anywhere. The whole idea of the movement started well before the whole term, right? This is, back in the days of Charles Tyler, rest in peace to him. That's when
rest in power, Charles Tyler,
yeah, that's when I got in the way of it. That was 10 years ago, and I was back in college, and so I was always a part of that for a while, and so this isn't going to go anywhere because the influence, I would say, of Black culture to the world plays such a massive role with the whole idea of Passport Bros too. Because we were talking about the whole cultural differences and things like that. One of those things that really fascinated me when I started traveling out in the world was how huge and influential, Black culture was or is to the world, both through music, fashion, swagger, things like that. And a great example for, is if you go to places like Latin America, or if you go to places like the Middle East and North Africa, people there love hip hop because it is rebellious to the situations that they're in. And in a lot of ways, it creates those cultural bridges that make it easy to overcome those cultural impasses that said article you were talking about would create problems per se for a passport bro in regards to meeting someone from another part of the world, because you create that common interest, right? You take that common interest and you can build up from there to create bonds, to make it easier to integrate into a new society, so it's like things like this I feel benefit, especially passport bros of color, primarily black guys who have been like the face of this whole movement in a way. It makes the brand stronger because black culture has become so huge in the world and influential in the world. It allows us to integrate into these other societies very easily, and thus be able to meet someone as well. And I say that from my own personal experiences.
And what countries have you been to?
So I've been to Peru, I've been to Colombia, I've been to Mexico, I've been to Morocco, been to Egypt, all over parts of Europe as well. And places like Morocco and Egypt is really fascinating because, a lot of people there they love hip hop. And in a way, it kind of helps you meet people because they have that shared interest of hip hop and R&B and wanting to, talk more about it. From there, it's easy to, establish friendships. The same in Peru and in Colombia, and I have friends in Peru, like Afro-Peruvians, which, I never had knew about. That blew my mind. And when I met some, my Afro-Peruvian friends for the first time, it felt like family in a way. It was like, damn, very similar vibes in a way. It just felt natural. So, for me and my own experiences, it's like, those shared cultural things in a lot of ways just make it really easy and enjoyable, and makes it easy as a passport bro, makes it fun as a passport bro to do these things and to travel and to meet people like this, so I don't think the brand will be sullied by it.
What's funny, man? Like when I first went to Brazil and I saw the black people, I'm just like, yeah, what I'm saying? I had no idea. I mean, I knew it was a black population out there, but I didn't know it was that many people that look like me, in Brazil and in Colombia. And you're absolutely right, man. It's like when you kind of plug in, they're interested in you, especially if you get outside the tourist area. They want to know about your experience in America. How is it being black in America? Because they get our news. Yep, that's the thing. Exactly. We don't necessarily get their news, but the whole world gets our news. And I remember one time I was with my ex-novia, my ex-girlfriend, and I think it was like a man who got killed. It might have been what's the brother's name? Excuse me. My brother got killed basically in America by the police, and she was just like asking like why is America like that? Why is it so racist and all that? And I'm like, it's just it's unfortunate. Just unfortunate. This is why a lot of guys started saying, you know what, man, let me get my passport. Let me weigh out my options. Let me just move around a little bit. And then when you start moving around, you start connecting and networking with people, you find out like, oh shit, it's a black population here. It's a black population here.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And then just being outside of the US, you just feel way more at peace, like for a lot of folks.
George Floyd, that's right.
And yeah, it's like when you're outside the US, you just feel way more at peace, and for a lot of dudes, it's not just about trying to meet someone or meet some women. For them, it's just being at peace, being happy. Bro,
it's so much more than that. But even in this article, it's the headline always reads first, and that's what that's what they put out there for you. Because a growing number of men are ditching American women for that tagline to trigger people.
Yep.
When people in general leaving America already, men and women are leaving America. Right, just so they can eat healthy food because it's expensive. Because you can buy a property straight up cash, 70, 80 grand. It's yours. I saw a house in my old neighborhood in Atlanta, bro. They regentrified it, and the house is run down. The small little house built in like the 20s or 30s. They want $700,000 for that house. $700,000 for that house. And what used to be one of the worst neighborhoods in Atlanta. Now, some sucker might come out there and feel that little house is a deal. I don't know. But I wouldn't purchase it. I wouldn't invest in it. You know what type of building you can get in South America for 700,000? Not house, building. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, hell yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And this is way too many opportunities abroad. People just, either A, are totally ignorant of those opportunities, or B, think that, oh, they can't do it. They try and, psych themselves out of it. But it's wild, But I want to bring up an interesting thing from that article that you're talking about, how the passport feature, had exploded in usage. So an interesting thing, back when the lockdowns first happened, I want to say it was back in, either May or April when this happened, but Tinder actually opened up the passport feature to everyone for free for a whole month. And yeah, and people went crazy, and then they saw a genius opportunity there because they knew that most guys are going to be the ones that are be the big spenders on the app, because that's just how they design the app towards. And they knew that if they open it up, see how American guys, see the rest of the world meeting women and all this stuff like that, it'll be easy money. And they were right. It paid off as a huge, kind of gamble in a way, but it paid off because their stock, the Match Group stock that owns Tinder, shot up like mad off of just that feature alone. And so, like you say, it's kind of one of those catalysts that spurred everything up from there. And I remember using it. I even used passport feature even before that happened. But I used passport feature at that time. Met some really cool ladies that I actually still stay in touch with as well. One is a really big influencer, social media influencer out in Egypt these days. But before, when I had first met her, she wasn't a social media influencer at that point. Now she's huge, and it's wild because when I go and visit her, I'm able to be a part of this like weird higher social status because she brings me into that world in a way of Egyptian society, which is really wild. But
Egyptians, okay.
Egyptian
society, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I love Egypt. I've been to Egypt 6 times. Like, I love that place. It's
that
something.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been there 6 times. Okay, at Arabic, I'm still working on my Arabic, but it's a wild place. But the people show me mad love. Out there, a lot of people love hip hop and R&B out there. You hear it on the radio on Nile FM quite a bit. That influence is there because there's always been a rebellious history in that culture across North Africa and going into the Middle East, including the whole stuff that's happening with Palestine and everything like that. So they have a lot of love for Black people out there. And so it was pretty wild, being in that, I guess, upper class of Egyptian society when I was hanging out with my friend, going to like these really high-end restaurants and high-end hotels and stuff like this, and hanging out with other social media influencers, and they're like asking me all these questions about America and stuff. But yeah, and people never hear about that side of like a passport, bro, right? They never hear about going deep into the society and really learning about the world around them, understanding why things are why they are and the history and stuff like that, and actually meeting people and making friends and networking.
Right. It 100% changes your outlook on life. When you talk with people that may not be as well traveled as you, it's so hard for that to not come out. They might say something like, or you doing this and what you did last week. I'm gonna go, I was in Egypt last week. You know what I'm saying? It's like they go like, what? Yeah. Yeah. But I want to welcome to the show a former arch enemy turned good friend. Shout out to my man, Black Man Travels, not Black Man Travels. Black Man Travels. What's going on, bro?
Hey, what's going on, man? Thank you for inviting me to the show. You called me out, so I figured, let me just jump on.
Yeah,
what's going on, man?
Shit, what's good, brother? Hope all is well with you, man. Hope you best wishes and success. Now, you've had a lot to say about the past.
Yeah, that's why I'm jumping on.
This is a good conversation, though, because sometimes it's good to go
definitely
back and forth, man. So what are some of your, what do you think about the brand at this point right now? Has it become out of control? Is it a joke?
To be honest, to see it is still running when it first started, I'm surprised. So that I commend you guys for continuing it, because at first I thought it was a joke. we're just having real talk conversation. I felt like, the optics around it was not as positive as everyone tried to spin it. I'm a brand strategist, so I look at things differently compared to just what people, will say about social media, how we promote a Black man traveling. Again, I'm surprised the fact that you guys are getting that much national attention, from, well-known media houses are actually featuring you guys now. It's just kind of interesting. But I do like the direction that you guys pivoted. Because at first it was all about, we're pumping our chests and we're about to travel and see the world and all for women. And I'm like, a lot of us, we were traveling way before this hashtag. A lot of us was doing this way before, but quietly. And I just feel like sometimes there's certain things that you don't need to, boast out to the public. So, but the fact that you guys are now, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Remember, I was just like, bro, it was supposed to stay like this unique little community. And then
Correct.
TikTok, shout out to my man. I was just on Austin's show. It hit that little algorithm in TikTok, and it just went haywire.
Pandora's box. Yeah.
It just went haywire off this new. I mean, it was a lot of factors at play. It was the pandemic. People were working more remotely. It was the frustration of all the dating in the West, right? All these relationship panels, fresh and fit with 10 women, and they, trying to explain to them why they should do this and why they should do that. When you have a sector of men like, man, the hell with that. I'm just gonna go overseas and find what I'm looking for because I have a better chance.
I mean, my thing is this again. I'm all about educating the Black man because, like, really, Passport Bro is the Black man. It's like I'm all about educating brothers out there to explore their options. Charles Tyler inspired me. I was in Brazil when he passed away that year in 2017. And rest in peace to him. I was going through my little situation when I found out his podcast radio back in 2014. I mean, I remember that. I remember the Facebook groups back then. Everything was quiet. Option. It's just, Black Man Option. Then there was all the subgroups that started these Facebook groups. And back then, those Facebook groups was like the Wild Wild West. You could post anything. I remember we used to post nudity, like all type of stuff. But now with Facebook, they changed their direction. So now you could actually lose your group for any particular reason. But for me, I just felt like there's other ways we could promote and why we travel versus just always strictly focusing about women. Because that's the thing. It's like now when I travel, when I meet sisters or anybody, are you a Passport Bro? And I'm like, are you traveling for women? Like that's the next follow-up question. I'm like, damn, what? Now everything I do has to revolve around a woman. But that's the narrative that's being pushed.
Yeah, we just spoke on that too. RKE just spoke on that. It's like, bro, we just want a sense of freedom, a sense of exploration. Men have traveled the world for centuries. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of natural for us to get outside the environment that we grew up in. It's really important for us to get outside.
Well, one thing is like I challenge all these AI creators, right? They creating all these crazy images of guys running mad with the passport. I'm like, all right, that's a little bit over the top. I just feel like, hey, listen, you got a passport in your hand. Why are you pissed off, mad at the world? You should be smiling. Like, show a brother at peace, living in another country. Show that AI that's showing, like, show a guy with his new family overseas, working remotely, living, making all that money, while the cost of living is really cheap. Show that. Why are you constantly showing a bunch of fat, ugly women chasing after him, and he has his passport in his hand like he's running for his life? I mean, it just. Right. I just feel like we could change the optics and move away from the women. Of course, we could.
These memes right here.
Yeah, for me, I think that
I don't think these the guys that's traveling either, bro.
No, they're not. And I said that this past Friday, I actually did a live stream to talk about that. I think a lot of these guys that's creating this stuff, they're not travelers. Because I'm gonna tell you this, dudes that are actually traveling, we move in silence.
Exactly.
Like 1 minute you think I'm in Colombia, but I'm in Brazil. You never know where we at.
Dudes getting married overseas. Like these are not the guys that are doing this.
So like the guys that are starting businesses, getting married overseas, they don't really broadcast it out there to the public like that. They kind of keep a low profile. The ones that's pumping their chest all the goddamn time, these are the guys that are not traveling. They living through you guys. And guess what? They bitter, they jaded. So they're gonna do everything around. Hey, we try because we're trying to get away from women. Guys like us, we checked out already. The women is the least of our concern. Like for me, I'm at a point now. I could care less what the media or what people say about why I travel. I already checked out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to put that time and energy towards that. But again, there's a lot of young brothers getting to the traveling game. They're anxious, hence why they're traveling.
That's a good point. It's a good point. We got Zanjo's clutching the building. BMT versus BMT UFC 295 bonus match.
I mean,
last show, Black Man Charles put out the gloves on me. I was like, oh shit. But I want to cover this article real quick, man. I just want your opinion on this article. What you thought about this when it says, as women in the U.S. become more outspoken and emboldened to ask for what they want, some men feel that they prefer women in other countries who will be more unconditionally devoted to them, she said. Lastly, this is the part. The movement actually began with Black men. So Foster actually gave us a little credit.
Yeah.
So it could have to do with the way that Black men are treated in the U.S. Though it also seems that some of it is based on negative perceptions of U.S. Black women. What do you think about that?
I disagree with that. I think a lot of us checked out a long time ago based on societal pressures. A lot of us just felt like, you know what, hey, I'm more appreciated in other countries beyond the women. I mean, cost of living is cheaper. I mean, you live in Colombia, Brazil, Costa Rica, Panama, your dollar goes a lot further. So it's just a smart business decision to do that if you are in a position to do it. But this whole perception that we hate women or we hate Black women, that's far from the case, because a lot of us deal with Black women in other countries.
Man.
So when they say, oh, your mama's Black, this and that, whatever, but I'm like, well, I'm seeing other Black women in other countries, and some of them way blacker than you with natural hair, afro, bald head. When I went to South Africa, I was dating a girl, she was bald head, just like me. But she had a fatty on her. She was bad as hell, but she was just bald head. So again, so when they try to shame you, I always tell the guy, just ignore the man. Let your receipt speak for itself. Stop talking so much about the woman. Just say, you know what, show her that you live in this grand life. Don't, they think that every person outside the U.S. is barefoot, dusty, broke. No, show them how people live in other countries. Show the Range Rovers, show the penthouses, show the malls. That's something we need to show. We need to stop showing about a girl cooking us dinner. That's not a flex. A flex is you out at a rooftop party in Mexico City, living your best life with a fine chick right next to you, and you're enjoying yourself and you're smiling.
Mm-hmm.
That's the ultimate flex to me.
Thanks.
Oh, thanks. It's one of the situations, and you say you're a brand strategist, but that tagline is just going to be there. That men are leaving because that's what works. That's what gets that view. Yeah. That's what gets that click. And we've been on all types of podcasts. I don't know if you saw the Breakfast Club with Leslie Jones, the comedian.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
She just threw us, and you Passport Bros.
Your dick ain't working, some shit.
Where that come from?
You know what it is? It's easy to blame somebody else for their lack of accountability. And I think a lot of guys just need to do a better job in telling their story. Again, initially, when you guys started it, I was like, yo, that shit ain't gonna last. I was talking mad shit. Like I remember, I was talking. I was going against the grain. Yeah, I was. But now I'm sitting back. I'm like, okay, this stuff has staying power. Okay, now what can we do to change that? How can we pivot from always about women, but actually showing guys, like you just had a show about crypto. You had a show about, being a digital nomad. How can we start talking about that so people can pick that up? But of course, the media like negative, press. So by picking, snapshots of someone talking mess and use it as a way to cover the entire movement and lifestyle, yeah, it's different. But me personally, I think, we all have our own unique ways of telling our story. I have the Black Man Travel blog and website that I blog a lot of my travel experience through photography and through videos. And again, I had actually, during that Austin Holloman situation, that stuff that happened at Fox News or Fox Station, someone contacted me. They wanted me to come onto the show because they came across my website and they saw a picture of me, some girls, whatever. And they said, like, well, would you like to come on the show as a passport bro? I'm like, I'm not a passport bro. It's like, and plus I can't speak on a lifestyle that I'm not part of. So it was just like, for me at the time, they were just trying to find any means necessary to put every Black man in the same category. And I felt like, there's different variation in why Black men travel.
Mm-hmm. They don't touch on the key points at all. Like just being outside the country, like my first time in Brazil, man, I just felt a sense of relief. I couldn't believe that I was out here, you know, just moving around. And rest in peace to Charles Tyler, because it wasn't for him. This is where it all initially started.
Yeah.
Right. Everything started with Charles Tyler. I remember watching. I don't know if I saw Frustrated first or one of Charles Tyler videos first or Facebook. I don't know exactly how it worked, but it worked like a trifecta. I might have saw the movie first. I saw Charles Tyler, and I remember him walking around Baja Juca, right, showing the apartments and everything, and saying $400 a month, $300 a month, and I'm sitting here in the hood paying $1,400 a month. You know, I'm like, well, wait a minute, something right here. I got to see what's up with this. And you know, I booked the consultation from Alan Harper, the Black Man's Option, and went down there, and it just totally changed my life. Totally.
I remember I was going through a little divorce. I was going through a divorce at the time, and I came across podcast radio through the Black Man Option, and that was my introduction to Charles Tyler. And I used to listen to it. And he used to talk about the mates. You should go out there and leave. There's better options. And I was already traveling at the time, but I didn't know that there was a huge amount of people like me traveling. Because everywhere I was going, I was traveling as a married man with my wife and kids at the time. But I didn't know single guys were traveling. So what Charles Tyler did, he introduced me to a whole new different segment. And that's where I fell into the Facebook groups. I bumped into his group, and then I bumped into other Facebook groups that was kind of similar to it. And from there, my traveling just pivoted, and I started going to other countries by myself. So I went traveling first as a married man. Then after the divorce, I started traveling by myself, and I stopped just ranking it up, stopped bouncing around like crazy. But I remember the date, the year he died. I was in Rio when he died because I was supposed to meet up with him, but he ended up getting a stroke and he had to go to the hospital. So I was in Rio. 2 days later, they decided to make a decision. I decided to leave Rio and went to Bahia. This is 2017, and that's where I realized, like, man, I love Bahia. That's a whole different vibe for me. And after Bahia, I went to Sao Paulo and I came back to Rio. So it was just like, again, I think Charles Tyler, he gets the credit. He's the guy that helped push, encourage men to start traveling. But now with social media, you guys are doing a good job, but I think we just need to do a better job in telling the story. I think we just need to stop talking about women and just like, listen, like you said, you got a shirt that say traveling's therapy, right? Mm-hmm. Traveling is therapy. I know a lot of people through traveling, they were able to lose weight. They were able to get their health in order. They were able to save their lives because they found peace. We need to talk about those things. So that's just my
especially mental health. I agree.
Let me catch a super chat by Xantos Clutch with a 5 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. He says, you don't need to counter the shaming by saying I still date Black women overseas. Just know that Black women overseas have to compete due to Black men having more options. Shout out to Xantos Clutch. But you know what, though? It's not even, he wasn't even trying to counter the shaming.
I'm not counting.
Yeah, most brothers are with Afro women in these countries.
The thing is, a lot of people fail to realize there are more Black people outside the U.S. in the Caribbean and South America.
They don't know, bro.
Than they are within the United States. So most of the slaves actually went to Brazil and Colombia and these other countries. So people have this misperception that, you know what, all Black folks are really United States. No, they're in the Caribbean and South America, as well as Central America as well. Yeah, man. Like when you walking around, like the majority of South America, bro, like you really blend in. I mean, we kind of bigger than a lot of people, but for the most part, we blend in. People not even looking our way half the time, especially if you're walking with a Brazilian woman or a Colombian woman. You just another colored person walking through. Yeah. I mean, I've been, and we all know Colombia's a little sketchy, it's be a little dangerous, but I'll be everywhere, bro. I'll be in the barrios, I'll be in Central, I'll be everywhere, with my assistant. We be walking around, don't nobody even pay us no mind. And that's the advantage of being a melanated person has about South America, but you don't know that because a lot of people never travel. They don't travel. Bro. These are folks, these are people. Bro. They speak a different language, but these are your folks. You blend right on in South America as a Black man. I mean, I'll tell you this. Last year I went to Ecuador, and I was in Guayaquil. There was a shitload of Black folks out there. Yeah, Ecuador. And, it's like, wow, it's people look just like us walking around. The only thing is they just speak Spanish. If you go to the coastal side, there's a city called Esmeraldas. That's a Black city. That's where all the soccer players are from. So again, people have this limitation of thinking that only black folks are only within the United States. Black folks are everywhere.
Hold on, but I told you to put on a shirt, bro. But I mean, come on, dog. Well, yeah, you got to see your face, man. You just got the magnum. Come on, bro. See your face. I get it. Okay,
Salute both BMTs, man. Salute to the panel, and salute to the chat and QB Passport Flex, and I see you, dog. But yeah, man. Y'all dropping hidden gems, man. Y'all dropping facts, man. Y'all can save lives, man. If guys are paying attention to this live, y'all actually might able to save lives because brothers are just dropping like flies in Colombia right now. So Black Man Travels and Aaron Ferris, you guys are just dropping facts, man. I just want to iterate, make friends with the locals, man, local men, and they can get you a long way. Like, say, for example, you live in Colombia like BMT. Say, for example, you're trying to get into a long-term relationship with one of the local women. Make friends with the local men, and you ask them, hey, is there any good places I can meet quality women that you can introduce me to? And he's going to start introducing you to those quality women. And that's how you get the quality women. Instead of just meeting the girls from Tinder or Parque Jerez or Las Alentas, so if, just like I said, just making friends with the local men and they can get you a long way.
Yeah, you want to plug into like a circle in Colombia. Like family and friends circle, be the cool gringo, basically. Learn the language.
Yeah.
They're gonna look out for you. They're gonna tell you what looks right, what doesn't look right, all that good stuff. I want to give a shout out to D Payne's thoughts and opinions of the File Super Chat. Does the black people in South America look more like American blacks than Africans? Makes me think that black people were there before slavery. All right, be some truth to that.
Hey, can I say something? Colombia situation.
Go ahead.
It's interesting how everyone wants to throw Colombia under the bus now because all this stuff is happening. Mm-hmm. I've been going to Colombia since 2015, and it wasn't like that the way it is now. But the thing is, a lot of the accountability need to go towards a lot of the accountabilities need to go towards the victims because they made poor decisions. You got someone like yourself that lives there, you know how to move because you decided to not associate yourself with certain behavior. But the thing is, it's like there's certain things that's being promoted. Okay. There's certain things that that's being promoted heavily that we tell guys all the time. Listen, don't leave with your wallet and don't leave with your stick because again, they could read you. And the thing is, if you're not exploring outside of the typical areas like Parque Jerez, the clock tower, then yes, those are tourist zones. But if you decide to go to Medellin, there's Laureles, there's Envigado, there's so many Semanata. There's so many other places you could go to meet people. So guys, all I say when you go to these countries, do your research, plan, try to network, and just, again, don't be so anxious to jump on anything you see because, again, they see you as a prey. So just be smart in how you move. Because I got friends who currently live in Medellin. They live in the good life. Like, I see some of their Instagram posts, rooftop parties, like they living their life out there, man. But yet I hear other guys saying, "Don't go to Colombia, don't go to Colombia." It's like my friends who live there are living the dream. So it's kind of,
I love the city. I love Colombia. I want to give a shout out to Jimmy Jam TRD. He's also a member. I really appreciate that. He says gifted 5 BMT travel memberships, man. Really appreciate that. Thank you, Jimmy.
Jam. I hate when they say, "Oh, Colombia is dangerous." This, that. Look, we have so many mass shootings in the States. Like just last week, Ming, a dude shot up a fucking mall or grocery store. I don't know. But he ended up killing like 15 folks. Bro, you can't even go to the grocery store without even getting shot up. So what makes Colombia that much unsafe compared to the U.S.? I would say personally, the Colombia is actually safer in that aspect where you can be going to the grocery store and nobody shooting you up for no reason. At most, they're gonna come up to you, trying to steal something from you, but nobody's just, somebody got a bad grade or he's unhappy with his mom, and now he's shooting up the grocery store. So it's like in the U.S. you have that kind of aspect where in Colombia it's not. As long as you use common sense in Colombia, you should be good, man. I went there twice. I had a good time. I just don't know how these dudes are getting drugged. Maybe they're not watching these lives. Maybe they're not paying attention. You know, maybe they're not getting the right information. But it's you know, they overplay this Colombia is dangerous thing, man. People
I
act like
think
people. My thing is like people act like if you go to Colombia, these folks are savages. They're gonna straight up gun you down. They're gonna straight up rob you as soon as you get off the airport. That's not how it works, man. Most people are decent. It's just that you have small, tiny percentage that do act like that. But most of them are cool folks. You know, as long as you use common sense, you're not flashing, you're not doing anything out of character, then you should be good. Don't bring people you don't know into your your residence.
Exactly.
Yep. Common sense stuff.
Mm-hmm. If you got
But,
if you got a woman that look like Kim Kardashian from the early 2000s asking you to go home with you within the first 5 minutes of y'all date at a bar, that should be a red flag, bro. If she has 2 pictures on her social media and she's beautiful, that should be a red flag, bro. If she say, "Hey, I want to bring my friend along too," you such
That's
a
red
handsome,
flag.
fly guy, you know, that's a red flag, bro. You know, just little things that can really save your life in general, bro. Like,
If it's too good to be true, it probably isn't.
And if she got an Adam's apple bigger than yours,
that's more so time.
Yeah, but I'll say this, guys. You know, Colombia is the size of Texas. There's so many regions you could go in Colombia where you don't have to go where all the other guys are going to. Like for me, next year I'm going back to Colombia. I'm going to attend the largest Afro-Colombian festival in Cali, Colombia.
Right.
That's in August. I'm planning to hit that up for 4 days. I'm not worrying about someone drugging me. I'm just not. So again, guys, there's so many other cities you could go to and explore this beautiful. Look, Colombia's a beautiful country, man. I took a Dominican chick to Colombia where we did a glamping experience out there in Guadalupe. Did an area called Bosco. We spent 4 days up in the mountains doing glamping. There's so much to see and do in Colombia. You don't have to go to the same place all the goddamn time. There's other areas where you could go out there and see the country. I mean, there's like a lot of people don't know there's a desert in Colombia.
It is.
Like people don't know that along the coast, man. And, you know, right towards the border of Venezuela. People, you know, there's beautiful waterfalls. There's so much you can see and do. But I think what people see, they just see Medellin, they see Cartagena. But like even within Medellin, Aaron, you probably seen a lot of areas within Medellin that other dudes never seen before. So it's just like there's different pockets of Medellin that's like, man, it's beautiful and it's safe. But guys just get stuck on populares. They want to go to Gusto. And that's where people get drugged at.
Shout out to D-Pain, thoughts and opinions. Once again, to our super chat, man. I really appreciate that. I'm talking to a chick in Cali right now. Cali got them dimes, man. Cali got them Afro dimes. A lot of them here in Medellin, too.
Yeah. So, I mean, just going back to
I know you know those hidden cities. We ain't going to mention them on the show. The little hidden gems.
Hey, there's some places I don't promote, man. I keep it to myself, man. It's like, hey, I'm gonna go here, and I know for a fact there's a lot of talent out there. But guys, just be smart how you move. Colombia is not as bad as the way a lot of people try to position it. You guys got to move smarter. That's it. And stop leading with your money, with jewelry on, and trying to be loud and seen, and leading with your stick, being so thirsty by the first person that say "Hola" to you, "Hola, papi." Like, be smart, man. You know, soon a girl has a friend, run.
Yeah, stop. More or less, just stop being thirsty and stop trying to draw attention. I mean, brothers should know that from the get-go, man. Like, I don't know, man. Like, to me,
we're not trying to victim blame here or anything. It's just we trying to just let brothers, because I don't know how many times we can say it. You know what I'm saying? Like we had so many shows, and guys, I mean, it's a possibility we wake up tomorrow, it's gonna be another story.
BMT, let me ask an honest question. What is the purpose of bringing jewelry to any vacation that you go on? Like, I don't even
bro. Me and this guy, I saw a group of dudes in Parque Years, right? One of them had a gold chain on, and his boys had already worn it, and he still didn't tuck it. And I said, "Hey, bro, you know I don't know you like that, my brother, but hey, man, you don't want to. You got to take that chain. I advise you to tuck the chain or just take it off or something, man, because you bring a lot of attention." And his homeboy was like, "Yeah, I told him already, BMT. I told him, bro." And then he listened to me because he's like, "Okay, I didn't know my homeboy knew what you're talking about." I'm like, "No, he definitely knows what he's talking about, bro. You don't need it. Like all you're gonna do is just get all your boys robbed. That's all you're gonna do. You know." Like it's like you walking in the country in these areas where you don't have a lot of money. You got people that might have been eating for days. You walking around with a T-bone steak around your neck. You gotta expect that, bro. It's just, it's wild. I mean,
I'm gonna tell you.
I grew up in the city. I don't know about the rest of the panel. I grew up
Yeah.
pretty much in the crack epidemic.
I was raised Dade County, man, Liberty City. So
That's what I'm
I
saying.
know.
So it's just like the same rules apply, bro. Most brothers have been and grew up. That's the advantage that we have, that we grew up in these bad inner city neighborhoods where it's like the jungle. So the same rules apply. Just take what you take. Listen, if I'm in Atlanta and I happen to stand to take a stripper home, I'm not trusting that broad for nothing. We're not drinking nothing.
I'm gonna tell you this one wild story, right? This is back in 2020. I was in Medellin, and I went with I met a group of guys that were staying somewhere in El Poblado. They decided to go stand outside and smoke a cigar. They got robbed. And I asked them, what made you decide to stand outside and smoke a cigar if you got a balcony? They wanted to see the people. So he's like, you literally made yourself a target. So within 30 minutes of them standing outside, all 5 of them got robbed. Because they wanted to stand in the corner, smoke a cigar, and check out the scene. I'm like, bro, this is not the hood. This is not Atlanta, Chicago, whatever, where you can stand outside in the corner and chop it up. Within 30 minutes, they got robbed. I was like, yeah, you guys are 5 black dudes standing on the corner smoking a cigar and made it in. Yeah, you're a target.
I remember I was walking down Diaz, man, and I seen 2 popular rappers. I don't put their names out there, but I seen 2 popular rappers and dressed regular, bro. These dudes probably got millions in the bank, no jury. And it is Gator What's Up. They recognize me as Gator What's Up. Down south rappers too. One of them from my city, and I was just like, oh shit. But we kept it moving. But even they know. So everybody's paying attention to what we doing on this Passport Bros. Even some of the celebs, they were out there on Diaz. They probably got millions in the bank. They rock jewelry in their music videos. They had not one, and that's what motivates most guys who wear jewelry. Let's be real. Yeah. Rap, hip hop is what motivates most cats to want to buy jewelry. So these cats, these are one's a down south legendary rapper, no chain, no jewelry on, or nothing.
I mean, it kind of falls like in line with the whole throwing money in the club. You see that a lot now happening. Gusto and some of these clubs in Colombia, they're making it rain, and it's just like you literally making sure you target, because these chicas is gonna call their cousins, their brothers, or their boyfriend to meet them outside, and they're gonna rob you. So you out there having a good time making it rain in the club, thinking that you're impressing these people. They look at you and laugh at you, because the thing is, they see that you don't value the dollar, and that is a more reason for them to rob you.
Yeah, they justify, because they feel like, oh, you American, you can just go home and make some more money. I don't have no money. I'm poor. Yeah. I got to feed my family, so I'm going to rob you. It's just, and they are justified. Even if the person loses their life, they're like, oh, oops, my mistake. We owed them too much. And a lot of times these people been getting caught too lately. They be getting caught.
Yeah,
I think the girl that killed set up the Asian dude, I think she got like 19 years, 20 years.
Wow.
So.
But just going back to your topic, man, like I said, I think you guys now have national attention. You utilize it, pivot, tell a better story, control your narrative, because that's one thing I'm noticing too. I'm seeing a lot of white boys coming in, taking, hijacking the your lifestyle. And now they claiming it. And it's just like, I know for a fact that the guys who originally started are all black. So now I'm seeing other races of men claiming it as theirs. You guys got to just do a better job in telling your story, man, and just show other aspects of this lifestyle. Because again, it's a beautiful thing, guys. The fact that you're able to travel around the world as a black man, you get a lot of love, man. We all respected and we all love. And it's just like, just do a better job in telling your story. That's just my thing. Don't lead with the women. Women, like I always say this, women is like the icing on the cake. Mm-hmm. It's like there's certain things that, hey, you're gonna get it regardless. You don't need to say it. Show other aspects of things. If you're on the business side, or if you're on the digital nomad side, just go out there and do your thing, because you can make money. You can live and travel the world. If you're looking for a wife, you can find that, but don't lead with it. Let it happen organically. Like I have a fiance. We've been together for 8 years. I decided, it was time for me to settle down again. So I have a fiance, but I'm not ashamed to say that. I did all the vetting process. We were together for 8 years. So I'm not one of the ones that went to a tourist area to find a wife. No, I met her organically, and it just we kind of went through the process. So again,
now,
guys,
is this a foreign woman?
Yeah.
Now I want to go back to this article. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I want to go back to this article when it states that relationships coming from different cultures can be difficult. What are some of the things in your first? I know I can speak for myself, but what do you say? Is it some things that are a deal breaker, or is it easily workable, or is there some things that you miss about dating women from your own culture?
Well, the thing is, I'm Haitian, so like one thing people don't realize, I had to learn how to speak. Nabule, man. Yeah, man. It's like
I got a lot of Haitians in my family. Shout out to my Haitians.
Yeah, so like for me, I came in this country in '78. So I had to learn how to speak English. I had a strong accent as a kid, so it's just now you don't really hear it. But my ex-wife was African American. I mean, we were together for 10 years. Things didn't work out. But even right now, we have a great co-parenting. Like, she's a friend. But I think dating someone, my fiance is Dominican. So look at that. I'm Haitian with a Dominican. And you guys know all the issues that goes on between those countries. But one thing I've learned,
isn't that still kind of similar to a certain degree?
Our culture's the same.
Right.
Only difference is they speak Spanish. Like, a lot of the food they eat, we eat the same goddamn food.
Dominicans are just high yellow cousins of Haitians. That's all.
Yeah. We're the same. Like, our temperament is the same. Our food, our culture is very similar. So for me, that didn't bother me. But I think for me, I've learned to empathize more. So it's like I try not to bring my American way of thinking to certain things. I try to fall back a little bit. But I think with any type of relationship, you got to put in work. It's not easy. People make it seem like, relationship overseas is easy. It's not, especially if you're not taking the time to learn the language. Like, for her, she speaks English and speaks Spanish. So sometimes we speak Spanish to each other or we speak English, but we put in work. So like any relationship you want in life, man, you got to put in work. And yes, you got to go there frequently. The good thing for her, she has a tourist visa. So sometimes she come down here. Yeah. So like for me, I chose a girl that had a college education. I chose a girl that had a strong family. I chose a girl that wanted more for herself. I didn't go to like the typical areas where she doesn't speak any English. She has no desire to do nothing to better herself. No, I chose the right one. And we, again, 8 years. We just realized, like, damn, we've been together for 8 years. So it's just like, look, you can find love, but it's gonna take time and it's gonna cost too, because you can't just go once a year. You got to go like as frequent as possible, or have a setup where she could come and visit you. And her and I, she's been to Colombia, she's been to Costa Rica, she's been to Panama and El Salvador. We took trips there. It's like, at times I say, you know what? I don't feel like going to DR right now. Meet me, let's go to El Salvador together. And we'll meet up in El Salvador. So guys, you got to put in the time and effort to really create a sustainable relationship with anybody, but with a foreigner, she got to want as much as you want it. And if she's not willing to put in work herself, let her go.
So are there any moments in your relationships that it's like maybe something comes on TV or a certain song, like a Death Row song, or just something that's kind of like culturally Black American? You get excited. You be like, oh man, I remember this. And she looking at you just like, huh? Well, I'll give you an example. Like, let's just say Venezuela is playing Colombia or something.
Yeah.
And they hit a goal, and I'm sitting here like, huh, what? Oh,
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
oh! I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, like for me, like she's Dominican, so she listens to all that, that bachata, merengue stuff. For me, I don't care for it, but it's just like at times I'll let her rock. We be in the car together, I'll let her jam her music, and it's just I got to deal with it. Like then at times where I'm playing my tracks, and it's just like she doesn't say nothing. Sometimes she encourages, like, you want to listen to your music, like yeah, but then sometimes like, hey, she's having a good time, I'm gonna just be with her and just enjoy the energy, and that's the thing. That's that give and take. Like, sometimes you can't force someone to just be all about your culture. You got to literally ingrain, you literally need to ingrain yourself into her culture. Because you got to go to the family events. You got to. You can't say you're not going to go because they're big on family.
It's tough too. You're absolutely right.
you got to go and you got to eat the food. If you don't eat the food, that's sign of disrespect. I mean, there's certain things you just got to do, and it's just like, hey, and that's part of you being involved with someone from a different country. You can't just go and think that no, you're going to adjust to me. Like, no, you're going to have to adjust to her as well. And I think a lot of guys are not willing to do that. That's why you got to take the time to learn the culture, learn the language and everything else. Then you can have a really relationship, and that applies to anyone you deal with, within the States or overseas.
Yeah, compromise, give and take. What that's relationships about.
Yeah, this was about. But lucky for me, I found a woman that wanted more. You know, the fact that she went to college, I was at her graduation. You know, that was a problem for her family. She took English classes, and you know, I supported her on that. And it's just like now, I mean, she get job offers left and right. She's making way more than the average person makes in her country. So it's just like due to the fact that she speaks English. So, and the thing too, guys, I know this whole narrative where they say like you can't find a good woman in DR or whatever. That's all BS, man. At the end of the day, if you meet a chick somewhere in Sasua, yeah, that's not wifey material. If you meet someone at an entertainment spot, yeah, you know, there's a good chance that this person may not be the best interest, but vet the person before you decide to put a child on that baby. Vet that person before you decide to get married.
What about San Domingo?
Dude, San Domingo is a great place, man, to meet people. It's a great place, and I think people just don't go.
We are many times, I only been to Santo Domingo many times. I would say that's a great place to find a decent Dominican girl, but you got to find them at the right spot. The malls, they gotta, you know, sometimes they be wandering around in a girl mall, and you can just approach them, and they just relax, lay back. They'll give you the number as long as you're not, you know, coming at them funny. But Santo Domingo is a spot. If you really like Dominican women, that's the spot. But if you're looking for that fun short term, Sasua is a spot. But let me just say, Santo Domingo. I mean, Santo Domingo, you can still get it in the wine, speed dating aspect. But mostly, you're looking at, you know, long term relationships over there, man. But
I'll say this: I've been to over 15 cities in DR. And you can find a good woman anywhere. The thing is what type of woman you want. For me, I'm very conservative. So women I date domestically and overseas are conservative. I don't like a woman that's wearing tight clothes all the goddamn time, needs to show her pussy print or needs to be seen, all that makeup. I like natural beauty. So there are certain things instantly I know for a fact that I'm not gonna waste my time with that person. But if I see she's a strong family, you know, education background, all that stuff, yeah, that plays a role. And I think a lot of guys overlook that because they see a pretty face. So you see a lot of guys, you know, will pick up someone because she's a pretty face, but she has no desire to better herself. So she's all about going to the club and being on Instagram. I stay away from that. My girl doesn't do Instagram. So it's just like little things like that, man. It's just like, okay, you can find a good person. It doesn't matter what country you in, you can find a good person. It's just you got to put in work.
Facts. Also, though, I want to bring up something that you said earlier on. You're talking about your relationship with your fiance, and this is like a golden rule that Charles himself, you know, kept hammering home back when he was making his videos and everything like that. Is that for us guys, we need to leave our Americanness ways in America. Once you leave the border, you leave all of that American baggage in America, because if you take your mannerisms and your baggage with you, you're going to set yourself up for failure, like point blank, you know, because you're going in there, you know, thinking that every woman is the same and all this stuff like that from your past experiences and all this stuff. You're going to set yourself up for failure. You have to go in with a bit of an open mind. It's obviously have, you know, your guard up a little bit. You don't want to get played like a sucker, use common sense, things like that. But you have to go in with an open mind, as an open book, being willing, like you said, to learn the culture, integrate. That's the big one right there, is integrate a bit, and, you know, just enjoy the experience at the end of the day and leave that American side of you in America. Because if you take that with you, you're just going to keep going in that same problems that you had in America. You're going to have that wherever you go, point blank.
Yeah,
you know?
man. I definitely agree with that aspect, man. Guys, you don't need to, like, you know, act like you're all that, man. It's the people in these countries are already humble. You know, they're laid back. You ain't got to prove anything. You know, I feel like a lot of guys got a chip on their shoulder, you know, trying to prove something. And overseas, you don't have to prove anything, you know. and sometimes they don't even care what part of the U.S. you're from. And if you say, okay, I'm from Southside Chicago, they're like, they don't care. It's like they don't even know what Southside Chicago is. It's like they don't care if you're from the hood or from the suburbs. So, like, as long as you respecting them, you're respecting their space, you're not breaking any laws, you're not messing around, then you should be good. But
I mean, at the end of the day, we all ambassador of the black man. So as a black man, just represent yourself in a professional manner, whatever country you go to. So it's just like, when you're out there with the passport, traveling the world, show respect, be courteous. If you can help somebody, go ahead and help somebody. But also be smart. Don't put yourself in a position where you could get got, because a lot of us are getting robbed a lot lately. A lot of us dying due to poor health. Let's do a better job in taking care of ourselves, because that's something that I really preach about on my platform. Is really about health. God, I've seen a lot of brothers traveling overweight. It's like, guys, what's your excuse, man? For me, every time I travel leave the country, I go hard for 30 days, man. 30 days, I do 2 days. I'm taking this shit back to high school where, I'm working out because I want to look good and feel good. Guys, as you travel the world, man, go see the doctor. Make sure, all your vitals are working, because a lot of us are getting heart attacks. And get insurance. All that stuff matters, man. So that's my thing. And I think this is where the Passport Bros could go and pivot. Let's talk about educating black man. Like, go see the doctor, go check your health, get insurance before you board that plane. Find ways to better yourself. And that's the thing. I think people need to hear that side of it. And what you've been doing lately, BMT, is that, hey, look, your content has changed a lot. And I've been commenting on your stuff like, man, I like it, because this is what people need to see. But then again, I'm older, so I like to see things different compared to a 22-year-old. He probably want to see a guy clubbing all the goddamn time. For me, I'm all about, where can I go? Best restaurants, things to look into, history, culture. That's what I like. So
that's a good point, man. And I appreciate that. Now, I want to ask you something, Black Man Travels, real quick about the DR in particular.
Yeah.
A lot of guys saying the DR is messed up. It's been pookie-eyed, and it's too much of the West. And I do see a lot of streams and janky stuff coming out of Seward, Coast, and everything.
Yeah.
Is the DR ruined? Do you kind of just skip over DR now, or is it just?
It's not ruined. Dominican Republic is not ruined, man. I think people get stuck on stupid on Saussure and what they see in Saussure. You have to understand, the country of Dominican Republic is the largest Caribbean country.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you include Haiti, it's considered, I think, one of the second largest, because Cuba is the longest. But Dominican Republic, man, there's a lot of stuff to see and do. I've been to the highest point of Dominican Republic where it's 30 degrees on this city called Constanza, and this is where they grow all the berries and strawberries. Dude, I went up there. It's a whole different type of people there. Dominican Republic got Chinese people. There's Chinatown, in the Dominican Republic. You see Chinese Dominicans. Like, there's a whole variety of different type of Dominicans. Like, for instance, if you go to an area called Las Terrenas and Sanama, this is where there's an influx of Dominicans that have American last name as Thompson, because at one point the United States has shipped a lot of the former free slaves into the Dominican Republic. So you meet a Dominican with a last name Thompson, like Anderson. And it's just like there's a lot of history, a lot of stuff to do across the North Coast, South Coast, Central region. There's so much stuff to do. I think people just get stuck on Saussure.
Mm-hmm.
So no, Dominican Republic is not dead. Regardless of what people say, you can still have a great time. You can still live a good life out there. You just got to get away from the tourist zones.
Okay, I want to give a shout out to Cole Black with $3 super sticker, man. I really appreciate that. I also want to give a shout out to Jimmy Jam TRD. He's also a member. The $5 super chat. He says, I was thinking of Cabaretti, DR, or Barranquilla. I'm super chill and find companionship. Get yourself in order is the best. Invest in yourself.
Yes.
Very good point. Very good point, guys. Because I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the show. I actually got to do a consultation in a few minutes. So, man, I appreciate everybody coming on. I'm gonna give everybody a last word, and we're gonna go ahead and sign on out. RKE, anything you want to go in closing?
I mean, at the end of the day, go out there, see the world, learn about it, stop chasing all these ladies and everything like that. And, that'll be the big pivot point on what a passport bro is. It's more than just trying to find someone, but actually, learning about the world and seeing that the world actually appreciates you as a black man. And then it's for your mental health at the end of the day. You know, that's where the real growth starts when you leave these borders.
I agree.
That's a good point. And Black Man Travels, what's going on?
I just want to say thank you, man, for inviting me to your platform. You called me out. It's like, you know what? Let me jump on this, man, show. First, I want to say this, man. As much crap I talked, I respect you as a content creator. You know, when I started doing the content as well, I realized it's not easy. Guys, being a content creator is not easy, man. And it's like, man, I commend you for you being consistent and still pushing through. So, big ups to you. I give you your flowers right now. Too, man, like, you know, I'm glad you guys are taking this Passport Bro. You guys getting worldwide attention now. All right, cool. What can we do to make it better for the next generation? And 3, guys, get your money up, get your health up. You know, you can still do the stuff you want to do outside the U.S. Stop caring about what anybody else have to say and live your best life. And thank you again for inviting me to the platform, man.
All right, man. Once again, we got to do this another time, brother.
Yeah, definitely, man. You guys, peace out.
All right, peace. All right, family. Once again, great show, great Sunday rundown. Appreciate everybody joining me for the show. You guys get them passports, man. Get the stamp. Peace.